Hey guys, welcome back to another Studio GC video, and today I will be reviewing Travis Scott's new album Utopia and ranking all of the songs on the album. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Travis Scott's highly anticipated fourth studio album Utopia is finally out now, and man, what a crazy sentence that is to say. We've been waiting for this album for 5 years, and so much has happened since Astroworld. For those who've been living under a rock, Utopia was first teased in 2020 as the follow-up to Travis's massive behemoth of an album with Astroworld, which has since become one of the most streamed and critically praised rap albums of all time. The rollout for Utopia took a very long time to begin, but after years of teasing the album, we were finally welcomed into Travis Scott's Utopia. As this summer began, we received trailers, the announcement of a Utopia album release concert in the pyramids of Giza in Egypt, which was cancelled, but whatever. Utopia briefcases spotted with numerous potential artist collaborators, Utopia billboards teasing the release date, songs being leaked or played to audiences, Travis spray painting Utopia around the world, totem poles playing music in Utopia, Texas, and so much more. Things really kicked off on the week of July 21st with the release of the album's lead single K-Pop, and then the following week with the trailer for Circus Maximus, a film based on and released alongside Utopia, and all 5 amazing Utopia covers plus the track list. And then finally on July 28th, 5 years of promotion all led up to one moment, the day we were all waiting for, Utopia finally dropped. To some, it was Travis Scott's make or break moment, either an incredible album or a very mid album with no in between. But that begs the question, what do I think about this album? Obviously, as with any album release, this one's had a lot of praise and also a lot of criticism, so take my thoughts with a grain of salt. These are not necessarily the best songs or the ones you will find most enjoyable, these are just my favorites, and all my thoughts are subject to change. But yeah, with all that out of the way, let's get right into the review. Alright, starting off on the very bottom of my list, number 19, we have Lost Forever, and okay, please continue watching, it will get better, I promise. This is a very hot take, but I don't find this song very interesting at all, and I actually find it kind of mid. I understand the appeal, but as someone who enjoys more melodic-based rap and interesting production, this song just doesn't hit for me. I don't find the beat nor Travis's rapping particularly interesting at all. Westside Gunn, as well as the production and drums in his verse, are definitely more interesting than Travis's, and I like the sample in the beginning of the song, but other than that, I just find this song somewhat boring and forgettable in comparison to the other songs in Utopia. Sorry, Lost Forever lovers. Alright, coming in at number 18, we have Modern Jam, and again, this is a really hot take. I know a lot of people like this song, but with an album like Utopia, where every song is bound to be someone's favorite and the album is so diverse, ranking every song to the point where everyone agrees on one list is a very hard task. Anyways, I do admire this song's boldness because it's so different from the entire rest of the album. I like the effects and the vocals throughout Travis's verse and the screaming lyrics. The Tisa touchdown feature is also very interesting. I just think that this is basically a worse version of Hyena, and since I usually come to Travis for interesting production, this beat is very simplistic and the rap performance doesn't really do it for me. Still some cool lyrics and cool song concepts, just doesn't amaze me. Coming in at number 17, we have Parasail. This is definitely the most chill song in Utopia, and I like this way more on my first listen compared to now. The narration in the intro of this song is kind of interesting, and the vocal delivery is still solid on this song, but it gets boring after future listens. I wish Don Toliver said more than just one word on this song, and I wish this song went somewhere further than what we actually got. Again, not a bad song, but it just feels like an interlude. Alright, now coming in at number 16, we have Del Resto Echoes. I was really excited after first hearing this song, but it didn't really hold up for me after future listens. Beyonce honestly carries every element of this song I enjoy, the chorus is the best part of the song, and the vocals are amazing. Travis does have a post-chorus verse that sounds cool, and his delivery on both verses are interesting, but the song overall just doesn't do it for me. It seems like it would belong on Beyonce's album Renaissance. It didn't need to be this long, and there are just better songs on the album. It's not a bad song, but it's just not my favorite. Now for number 15, we have Hyena. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. Hyena. I don't even know. This is a very cool album intro song that perfectly encapsulates the sinister vibe Utopia brings. The production on the song is especially interesting with a cool sample and a very spooky beat. I love the synth outro at the end. Shout out Mike Dean. However, I did rank this song lower because Utopia simply has much better songs in my opinion, and for an album opener, especially compared to his previous albums, this is somewhat weaker in my opinion, but still a pretty good song. Alright, now for number 14, the song you were expecting to be at the bottom, K-Pop, Let Me Explain. Yes, this song is not at the bottom of my list, and before you get all mad and dislike the video because this is obviously the wrong take, I just want to say, I like this song.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
You all may not like it, and I can see why, but I just love the vibe of this song, and honestly, I might have even ranked it higher. Yes, the song is super basic. Yes, the instrumental, while I find it fire, is somewhat simplistic and too simplistic for some people. Also, I do agree that it doesn't belong anywhere on Utopia, much less tangled in the Utopia rollout as the lead single. But as a song itself, it's different than anything Travis has released before. The Weeknd delivers a solid verse as always, and Bad Bunny has a good verse too, even though I can't understand a word he's saying. The melodies are fire, and I don't understand how you don't find the hook catchy. It's amazing. And despite saying Travis isn't even the main highlight of the song, Bad Bunny and The Weeknd have a longer verse, I think he's on it the perfect amount, but maybe he could be on it a little more. Also, I love Travis's verse in the drop in the beginning. I wish people appreciated it more. Perfect summer hit. Alright, now for number 13, we have Love. This is somehow one of the most underrated songs on the album, and yet one of the most forgettable at the same time. I want to like this so much more and place it higher than I am, but there's just so many great songs in the album that have to place higher. I love Travis's rapping and screaming vocals throughout the song, and the production is super interesting. The vibe is completely different than most songs in the album, and I like how he kind of sounds like Kanye and steals a Kanye-style flow towards the second half of his verse, ramping up his voice and getting louder and more aggressive. Plus, the Kid Cudi verse at the end is also pretty good. Definitely not a bad song, but there's still so many better songs on this album. At number 12, we have Topia Twins. And if you're one of the people that ranks this song in your top 3, I personally want to say that you have a very basic taste. Okay, I'm kidding, but seriously, the beat on this song is a super generic trap beat, and while both features flow super well and sound amazing, the beat still sounds very generic and not something you would expect from the creative genius Travis is. That aside though, the song is still super fire, and the whole chorus with the jet ski line is just amazing. Travis has a good verse too, and I like how the song just cuts off at the end. A great song, but again, there's still much better songs on this album. Alright, at number 11, we have Meltdown. Hold on, stay with me. I do not hate this song. Drake's delivery in his verse is amazing like most of his collabs with Travis, and this is definitely trying to be the sicko mode of this album. The flow by both artists is cool and the bars are great. The transition from Drake's verse into Travis's verse is also really cool, and the beat switch at the end is fun. However, the reason this ranks so low is that it just seems a bit basic. Like, it fits a lot with the Her Loss sound and sounds like it came right from that album, albeit it would probably be one of the best songs on that album if it was on it, but still. Great song, but there's still better in my opinion. Sorry Drake fans, but Travis just can't recreate the hype Drake had on his appearance in Sicko Mode. Now entering the top 10, at number 10 we have Telekinesis. This song is just transcendent. Such a unique Travis Scott song, and the synergy between all three artists is just amazing. My only problem with it is just sometimes the pacing is a little slow. But other than that, the only reason it doesn't rank higher is because it just hasn't hit me as hard yet. It'll definitely have to grow on me more when it comes to how high I rank it. With that said though, I still find this song amazing. Future and SZA deliver amazing performances with beautiful and emotional deliveries. The hook is something that will truly make you float, and Travis does amazing on every part of the song he's in. The chorus is super catchy, and it's such a sad and emotional song that truly sounds like Utopia. I can't really say anything bad about this song. I wish I could rank it higher. Great song. Coming in at number 9, we have Sirens. This is a super underrated song off the album. I love Travis's flow throughout the song. The sample in the beginning is amazing. The beat is hard-hitting and catchy. And there are some other cool production moments, such as when the vocal sample keeps speeding up until it's basically nothing. The synth outro is really interesting and transcendent. Plus, there's a random skit with Drake at the end, and it's actually a super fun way to end the track. I originally had this a bit higher, but I realized that it becomes slightly more boring after more listens. And while I love the flows and the beat on this song, it sometimes gets a bit stale. Coming in at number 8, we have My Eyes. I know a lot of people had this as their favorite song on the album. Why does there have to be so many amazing songs on this album? I wanted to put this so much higher. The vibe is so different from anything Travis has ever made, and it sounds beautiful. Although I think it could have had a little bit less autotune, I do like the vocals and the effects on them in the beginning. And then Sampha comes in and just completely steals the show. Like, seriously, those vocals were amazing. Plus, the second half of the song features a cool beat drop with cool production and an amazing verse from Travis. I don't see anything wrong with this song, I just personally enjoy some other songs in this album a bit more. At number 7, we have Till Further Notice. I also wish I could rank this song higher than I did, as I love a lot of the elements in this song. James Blake delivers an amazing performance with interesting vocal techniques and synergy with the beat. 21 Savage's verse is somewhat forgettable, but still good and complements the song well. Travis's spin on the chorus is amazing, and the sample throughout the song is also good. Travis also has a really good verse at the end, and the lyricism of the song is also very good. Plus, in Metro We Trust, you can't have a bad song with Metro Boomin producing it. The beat and production is amazing. This is the perfect outro song for Utopia and makes you want more as we now await Travis Scott's next album. At number 6, we have Circus Maximus. This song is a cinematic masterpiece. Although not my favorite from the album, from the moment I heard this song I knew it'd be fire. But wait, Travis just stole Kanye's flow from Black Skinhead. This album just copies Yeezus.
Travis helped produce Yeezus. Be quiet, you idiot.
All jokes aside though, this is still an interesting song. The Weeknd steals the show with his stunning vocals in the chorus. The song is super catchy, there's some cool production moments and vocal effects like with the screaming, and the rapping is also exceptional. Definitely one of my favorite songs from this album. Coming in at number 5, we have God's Country. This is definitely a very hit or miss song down to its core. Some people hate the beat to the song with the sample, but I really love it and find it very interesting and unique. It further supports the dark sounding aesthetic that Utopia is bringing, making me wonder why this album isn't called Dystopia. While Travis may not have the best flow or lyrics on this, what he does give I personally enjoy very much. I love all the background vocals, all of the scream lyrics, the slowed down sample throughout the song, it's all just great. Would have been interesting to hear Kanye on this, but still an amazing song, which is why it cracks my top 5. Coming in at number 4, we have Schizo. I think some people are sleeping on Schizo, I'm telling you now. Going into this song and seeing it was 6 minutes, I was scared it was going to feel super long, but my opinions changed immediately after playing the song. This song is immersive and entertaining with every minute it lasts, and the pacing is surprisingly very good. I personally think that this song is the sicko mode, or schizo mode if you will, of this album, as it has similar structures with the beat switches and spectacle factor. Travis delivers with every verse he has, with an interesting flow on each verse, and Young Thug perfectly fits the song with his amazing verse. I don't personally like the final slower pace beat at the end and how it takes a bit longer for the song to end after that, but other than that, this is a super catchy song, which is why it comes in at number 4. Now for my top 3 songs on Utopia. Coming in at number 3, we have I Know. This song is probably the catchiest on the entire album. The melodies and chill vibes of the production in this song are just amazing, and Travis's soft and somber delivery, along with some vocal effects, really make the verses and chorus flow so well together. The song is very heartfelt and has very interesting moments, plus it's paced very well and has good replay value. This was going to be my number 2, but then I realized that while I like the beat, it's somewhat basic and doesn't really do anything different throughout its runtime. But then again, I can't really be too picky on this song. It's an amazing song, and that's why it cracks my top 3. Coming in at number 2, we have Thank God. Wow, where do I even start with this song? This is just amazing. The random bass synth that hits every few seconds is great. The simple instrumental with the bells is interesting and darker sounding. The verses have a cool story, good messages, and lyricism, and the chorus is just amazing. The delivery just makes you float in the chorus, oh my god. This one really reassured me that this album would be amazing, and I heard this on some live album reactions before I actually started listening, so it got me very hyped. But it doesn't stop there. There's a transcendent transition and second half of this song where the beat finally drops, and oh my god, the beat is crazy. The extra synths, the booming kicks, the amazing rap delivery from Travis, it all just flows so well together, and yeah, this is definitely one of the best songs in Utopia. Not a lot of people are going to have this as one of their favorite songs, but for me, it comes in at number 2, my second favorite song on Utopia. So then, which song is number 1? Well, if you've been following along, I think you know exactly what song has been missing from this track list. Coming in at number 1, my favorite song on Utopia is Fiend. This is the one. I love everything about this song. The sound is completely unique and the production is insane. From the whole lot of red style synths to the hard-hitting drums, and especially that snare, the production on this song is just amazing. The lyrics aren't particularly the best on the album, but the delivery is amazing and super catchy. The chorus is probably one of the catchiest on this album, even though all he says is Fiend. But the Cardi verse is what's getting most people talking about this song, and while it doesn't carry the song in my opinion, it's still a decent feature. Not the best on this album, but still a welcomed one. It's definitely a very interesting and unexpected collab. Would have loved to hear Sheck West more in this song, but again, I can't really argue because it's my number 1 favorite song in this album, so yeah. I can't stop listening to this song, and while it only wins by a slight margin, it wasn't really a question when deciding which one was going to be my number 1. I was legit debating putting this lower because Cardi's feature's not really that interesting to me. It's good. It's not the best on Utopia. But then I reminded myself, hey, this is Fiend we're talking about here. Are you really going to put this at anything besides number 1? This song is going to go crazy live and at parties, and while some other songs in this top 5 are amazing songs and are basically tied in quality with each other, Fiend has the most energy and gets me the most excited. I've replayed it the most, and if it's not the best song in Utopia, it's definitely my favorite, which is why it comes in at number 1. Fiend is my number 1 favorite song on Travis Scott's Utopia. There it is, I said it. But yeah, now that I've ranked all 19 songs, let's just go into an overall album review. When it comes to the songs in this album I just ranked, I'm going to have to give this album a 9 out of 10. There's definitely no skips on this album, every song is good in its own right. Although I did like some songs more than others, and I did find some of the songs to be a bit mid, but that's just my opinion. In terms of the rollout to this album, I'm going to have to give it a 10 out of 10. This is one of the most hyped up albums in years, and in 2023, nothing's standing in its way. Everything about this rollout was exciting and new, and it was just amazing. When it comes to the cover art, or cover arts in this case because there were 5, I'm going to have to give it an 8 out of 10. I definitely like the main cover art and all the alternate cover arts, although for an album titled Utopia, it seems very dark, more like a dystopia album cover, and it's definitely not as grand as I was expecting it to be. Still very interesting though, and for the tracks we actually got on the album, it fits them all very well. For the production on this album, 10 out of 10, no questions asked. Moving on, I don't even need to talk about it, it's just amazing. For the lyricism in this album, it's probably in between an 8 or a 9, I'll probably give it a 9 out of 10. For a Travis Scott album, it's pretty decent. I'm not going in expecting some groundbreaking, life-changing lyrics, but all the lyrics we got are catchy and they flow super well. Which is why I would give the flow of this album a 9 out of 10, and when it comes to the features, I would give this album an 8 out of 10. While most of the features on this album did amazing, there were some features that I thought were just okay, and there were some features that I would have loved to see on this album that didn't actually happen. For the aesthetic and vibe of this album, I'm gonna have to give it a 9 out of 10. Super dark, super eerie, I just love the whole concept of Utopia. Tracklist order and inclusion, so like what songs were actually put on the tracklist and how they were arranged, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, it was pretty good. There were no like crazy transitions, but it all flowed pretty well. Finally, for the vocals, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. This album isn't as dependent on autotune as other Travis Scott albums, and everyone on this album pretty much gave their all when it came to vocal quality, so I'll give it a 9 out of 10. With all that said, I would rate Travis Scott's Utopia a 9 out of 10. Pretty much everything about this album is perfect, and I definitely recommend you to check it out if you haven't already. But yeah guys, other than that, that's pretty much it for this video. I don't want to make this video drag on longer than it has to be, so we're going to end the video here. If you have any other questions on my thoughts about this album, just leave them in the comments and I'll answer them. Also, be sure to leave your thoughts and song rankings of all the songs on Utopia in the comments. My ranking isn't the best ranking, it's just my ranking, and I would love to see how you would rank the songs in this album. But yeah guys, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. Go stream Utopia, and I will see you guys in the next video.